The last 48 hours have been very interesting for the crypto market. We've seen Bitcoin bounce off of a crucial support, one that has never dropped below before, and this signals that we may have actually hit the bottom. In addition to this, we've seen Cardano and Charles Hoskinson come out with some surprising information that is actually extremely bullish if you're a Cardano holder. So we're going to go over everything you need to know, and if you appreciate that, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right in. Starting off with the crypto market. Right now, we're looking at the overall crypto market. We're seeing Bitcoin's price hovering right around $21,000 per coin. We're seeing Ethereum continue to hold between that $1,000 and $1,200 per coin range as well. When we're looking at a couple of important events that have happened with the market, first of which is going to be the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve recently came out and they raised interest rates by 0.75%. This was pretty much what was expected by many of the top analysts in Wall Street. As a result of this, we saw a bit of a spike during that day when this information came out. So ultimately, this was expected. The markets had already factored this in after coming down significantly over the last couple of weeks and even last couple of months. Moving forward with regard to interest rates, we're going to keep an eye out on the Federal Reserve having potentially another 0.75% rate hike in the coming months. But other than that, everything has really already been factored into the market in this sense. We're looking at Bitcoin. There's one key support that is right where Bitcoin's price is currently. And this is very important because Bitcoin has fallen to the 200-week moving average for just the fifth time in history. But when we're looking at this, Bitcoin's price has never closed below this on the weekly charts. We're looking at this chart right here. We can see that Bitcoin had touched this in about 2015, touched it again in late 2018, early 2019, again during COVID. But every single time we have seen it touch this support, it has never closed below it on the weekly charts. And if we're looking at it right now, we could see that Bitcoin right now is currently below this 200-week moving average. So is this a sign that we have hit the bottom? Well, it very well could be, because when we're looking at this key support coupled with that $20,000 psychological level, it looks like we very well could have hit the bottom for the market. And I've been continuing to add to my positions DCA, dollar cost average, this entire time, because I'm thinking if we're not at the bottom already, we are at least very, very close to this. I want to quickly interrupt today's video to bring you a word from our channel partner, Fairdesk. Fairdesk is one of our longest term sponsors on the channel, and they are a cryptocurrency exchange that offers up to 125x leverage. This is the platform where I have currently been doing a lot of my leverage trading as of recently, because they have a very simple and easy to use platform that really provides investors with access to the global crypto market. Some of the features that I personally enjoy and use the most on Fairdesk are three things. First is that they have a simple mobile app with great charting features if you like technical analysis. The second is that they also offer leverage trading on dozens of the top trading cryptocurrencies. And the third is that they have easy access to short or long any of your favorite cryptos. If you sign up for Fairdesk today using the link in the description, you can get up to a $600 bonus when you deposit $100 or more. So if you're interested in trading crypto specifically with leverage, I definitely think you should check out Fairdesk. Remember, leverage trading is high risk, high reward, but I think this platform is definitely worth checking out. Anyways, let's get back to the program. Next thing I want to talk about, though, is going to be with Microstrategy. Microstrategy's CEO, Michael Saylor, recently came out and talked about some of the concerns investors have had over the fact that Microstrategy could potentially be liquidated as Bitcoin continues to fall lower and lower. And Michael Saylor came out and said basically this. He said, look, at this point, there's nothing to worry about for them being liquidated. Their Bitcoin position is secure. When they first initially invested in Bitcoin, he said on Twitter that they structured their balance sheet so that they can continue to hold through adversity. They'd factored in volatility, and they knew this when they first invested in Bitcoin. So ultimately, for anyone who's worried about a mass liquidation event from MicroStrategy dumping hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin back onto the market, that is really out of the question. He says they're going to continue to accumulate, and they have no plans of selling. They have a very strong balance sheet, and there's no worries about them getting liquidated. Next thing I want to talk about is actually some good news. We're seeing that Circle recently launched a euro-backed stablecoin, EUR, OC. And this is a pretty big deal because this is a company that is backed and invested by BlackRock. We're seeing Fidelity invest in them, and some of the biggest names on Wall Street invest in Circle. So seeing that Circle is actually rolling out an additional stablecoin. They already have USDC, but now that they're rolling out EUROC, this is something that's pretty exciting because it shows us that they have a significant amount of demand from people in Europe and from other foreign exchanges. And this is something that is good if you're a crypto investor, seeing that there is still this demand for additional stable coins, for new projects rolling out, even when the market is very volatile and things are dropping. Last couple things before we get into Cardano is going to be one thing I want to point out, because there's a lot of fear and a lot of FUD in the market right now. We're seeing that billionaire investors and everyone on Wall Street is continuing to say how Bitcoin is just going to continue to drop. And I want to just address one of these really quick. So billionaire investor Jeff Gundlach, he said that he won't be shocked if Bitcoin falls to $10,000 per coin. And while this is entirely possible, right now we're looking at the overall market, we're looking at a couple of technical indicators, we're looking at key psychological levels, we're looking at how much we have retraced from the top. Well, if we're looking at historical bear markets, Bitcoin's price drops 85% from the all-time high. That would put us significantly higher than $10,000 per coin, more around $17,000 per coin. But either way, when you're seeing stories like this, the point is, the reason why I want to talk about it is that you just got to remember that everyone's going to have their own opinion on Bitcoin. And a lot of people on Wall Street and billionaires are actually pretty bearish on Bitcoin still because they missed out years ago and they don't really understand it. So just keep this in mind when you're looking at all of these stories. Sometimes they're taken out of context. Really, there's a lot of the time just spreading FUD and fear. So just keep that in mind when you see them. But really, in my opinion, when we're looking at Bitcoin, we're looking at that typical 85% drop. We're looking at a number of indicators we talked about in this video. We're pretty close to the bottom, if not already there. Last thing that I want to talk about is going to be with Cardano. Right now with Cardano, we're seeing two important things happen. First is that Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson came out in a recent interview with Yahoo Finance, and he talked about Cardano as a whole right now. He says right now there's about 3 billion people without access to banks worldwide. They pay high prices for remittances, for credit, for insurance, and other financial services if they're even able to get access to it. So he says what Cardano has been doing and why he thinks the price has been continuing to hold pretty steady despite all volatility is because they're attacking real-world problems. They're targeting right now a lot of countries in Africa, for example, Ethiopia, Kenya, Zanzibar, and a number of other ones where they're trying to solve real-world problems. He says in Zanzibar right now, World Mobile is constructing an ISP, so they're actually going to roll out internet access to the entire country and build a blockchain-based system on Cardano. In Ethiopia, right now they already have a pilot program where 5 million students can actively check their grades and credentials using the Cardano blockchain. And in Kenya, there's also going to be a microfinance pilot support and other major things coming out going to be rolled out in Africa over the coming months. But ultimately, Cardano is trying to solve real-world problems. People are seeing this, and we're seeing that Cardano has been able to withstand a lot of the turmoil in the markets recently and really has not dropped as much compared to other altcoins. Last thing with Cardano is going to be something that really reflects all of this information we just talked about, with them continuing to grow, continuing to build, and solve real-world problems. And we're seeing is that $2 billion has flowed into Cardano over the last really 48 hours, despite the market continuing to fall. And we're seeing that Bitcoin's price is continuing to fall. But interesting thing enough is that Cardano has actually seen its price hold very steady around the 50 cents per coin range, and it's actually increased while many of the other altcoins decreased. When we're looking right now at Bitcoin and the overall crypto market, we can see that Bitcoin dominance has actually fallen, which is unusual for this sort of time. Typically during a bear market where we're seeing prices fall, we continue to see Bitcoin dominance increase. But right now, Bitcoin dominance has actually come down slightly. It was at 47%. Now it's only at 44%. And we're seeing that people are choosing altcoins like Cardano, which has continued to hold very strong around that 50 cents per coin range, despite a lot of volatility in the market. And if you look at the price right now, it's up 7% over the last 24 hours, when coins like Cardano and Bitcoin are up just much smaller than that relative to Cardano's price increase. So anyways, that's what's really been going on with the market. We're seeing inflows into Cardano despite market falling. We're seeing that Bitcoin looks like it could have hit the bottom based on this right here, the 200-week moving average. And we're seeing that Microstrategy and a number of companies are continuing to develop and continue to come out with big announcements with regards to their Bitcoin position and what they're doing in the crypto space. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.